One. Hi, gamers. Alright, let me jump off a little bit, real quick, and I will be back in like 5 seconds. Hi y'all, hi everyone. Be right back for a second though. I'm gonna bring myself water. Alright, back. Okay, got the water. I guess I'm gonna start recording straight off the bat. Okay, let me see. Hi y'all. Nightreign, Elden Ring, Nightreign. Well, howdy YouTube. So, as it turns out, Nightreign videos have been released, plenty of them. You can see like Fextra releasing the video. There is some Bandai Namco, like a new official pre-order trailer, and so on and so forth. Iron Pineapple released a video. I am probably going to watch right now Vati's video. So like, here's the thing. Every single of these have a footage provided by Bandai Namco. So when it comes to the gameplay, it's all going to be the same. That being said, I think Vati Vidya is the best choice when it comes to the narration of the video, because like he's probably going to provide a little bit more of insight on stuff that I essentially wouldn't be talking about. And meanwhile, I am most likely gonna focus on the mechanics, so yeah, let's play Vati's video. Okay, and 3 and 2 and 1.
Recently, I played 6 hours of Elden Ring Nightreign, and we were locked in for that entire time. This game is addictive, it's intense, it's way faster paced than I expected, and I think it's gonna be a hit. So let's talk about it. Our characters have just left the round table hold, and day 1 is about to begin.
This is already gameplay, by the way.
Your goal in Nightreign is to survive each day as a ring of rain closes in around you and your team. Then, at the start of day 3, you'll fight one of 8 major bosses using all of the randomized loot and buffs that you've accumulated over the course of your run. Now, every session you play in Nightreign is supposed to be somewhat unpredictable. You won't always explore the same map, or receive the same loot, or face the same enemies. The one thing, though, that I found very predictable in every single one of my Nightreign sessions was this feeling of pressure. The pressure not just to survive, but the pressure to get stronger. Because if you don't get powerful fast, there's no way you'll defeat.
Look how fast they are moving. This is like what I was thinking about initially when I have seen the sprint. Imagine how easily it is going to be to strafe bosses. Like, you know, you are sprinting basically twice the amount of speed of your regular sprint in Elden Ring. So I can assume that, like, unless bosses are adjusted and they have way better tracking, which honestly probably wouldn't be a good thing, because it would remove like a skill-based aspect of strafing in the game against bosses, yeah? Then this movement speed is literally going to be game-breaking, because you're gonna be able to continuously position yourself in the way so like your opponent won't be able to hit you, but you will be able to counterattack very quickly. It's just that you're gonna have to have some expertise onto the game.
You can kind of see that pressure in action here. These characters just rested at a grace and leveled up and ran, because the rain is coming, and you don't have much time.
Damn Fortnite. It's actually so pretty, by the way.
In our playthrough session, we would have to make these split-second decisions about where to go and what to do, and most importantly, whether we had the time to do it.
Oh, new animation!
So often it was a choice between defeating a boss and claiming its loot, or running away and living to fight another day.
So, I wonder about one particular thing. We can see every single character so far, actually 2 characters we have seen so far, utilizing only one-handed moveset, and I wonder if that's just like, you know, you normally wouldn't play like that in Elden Ring. Like, two-handed moveset gives you more poise damage, which overall makes usually like entire two-handed setup like superior to the one-handed setup, and here no one is just two-handing the weapons, so I wonder if that's just not possible to two-hand the weapons in that game. Well, we're gonna see, I guess.
So many subtle changes have been made to the mechanics of Elden Ring as well, and all of these changes have been made in the name of speed and efficiency.
Speed and efficiency, and here like in the chat, Ferb is saying that from Oro videos, crouching got removed now, is the high-speed dash. Aha. So that's what they did. They actually removed one of the mechanics. That's kind of unfortunate, honestly.
For example, you can now vault easily over objects and even enemies as well.
Oh my god.
Get where you need to go.
That's actually so cool.
Where you need torrent to traverse the map. Now you can press L3 to activate a powerful sprint.
Okay, here we go, L3.
You can also activate spirit springs on foot, which vault you so high up into the air. Also,
wow,
there's no fall damage in Nightreign, so from high places it's easy to justify jumping down and getting to where you need to be. Let's talk about the different classes, the different Nightfarers that you can choose to play in the
Below you have written that we could only choose between 4 Nightfarers in our demo, but the full game will have more. Okay, it's gonna be 8 initially, as far as I know. I wonder if like more of classes gonna be introduced through the DLCs.
This is the Recluse, a mage character.
Nightfarers,
like
yes.
Other characters, has an ability and an ultimate that you can use.
Ability and
they've
ultimate.
Turned the HUD off for the footage that they've given us, but I remember what these abilities and skills looked like, so I've drawn them, and this is where they are usually on screen. Your activated ability is on the left, and your ultimate is on the right.
Wait, it actually covers so much of the screen? This actual legitimate representation of the HUD? That's quite some clutter, holy shit.
Both of these circles fill up over time, and when they're full, that's when you can use the ability or the ultimate. Now, the Recluse has an ability that is actually much more complicated than the other characters' abilities, and I think they designed it this way because the Recluse is designed to be a backline character. In Nightreign, the spells you cast are tied to the weapons you pick up So you usually only have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 spells on hand. So From Software has given mages another system to sort of micromanage while they're standing in the backline casting spells. Let me explain really quickly how it works. Basically, whenever an enemy or a teammate gets tagged by a certain type of damage, like fire or magic or holy, a little marker will appear on them, and then the recluse can absorb that type of energy, getting a little bit of mana, but more importantly, filling out one of these small orbs. Then the recluse's ability.
Oh, something skipped here? Yeah, let me actually...
Getting a little bit of mana, but more importantly, filling out one of these small orbs. Then, when you've acquired 3 elements, you can unleash the recluse's ability, generating a unique spell based on the combination of elements you've acquired.
Sounds fun. I am a little bit worried about one particular thing in this gameplay though. Not sure if you have noticed like the length of the dashes, but this is like a Bloodborne dash basically. Like 1-to-1 when it comes to the length and everything.
Other characters in Nightreign class is the ability, footage drawn them, and on the left. This is where they are usually.
Like,
on
check
screen.
this out.
Your activated ability.
Look at this dash. It actually goes so far.
Both of these circles fill up over time. And
it kind of looks very spammable. And speaking of the fact, like the ability is just like a refill, you have like to fill them up and so on. It is actually apparently a little bit different system to what the initial articles from IGN and portals alike were mentioning, because we were actually being informed about cooldowns. So I have expected something more like League of Legends abilities, where you just click an ability, it goes on the cooldown, then it goes off the cooldown, and then you can use it again. But apparently it's like the abilities working the way that you have to fill them up by apparently just, I don't know, like doing some sort of the offensive actions, which I guess is actually a good solution, because it essentially means we are not going to have situation where, for example, like someone just would do absolutely nothing but spam ability.
Marker will appear on them, and understanding the combination of elements you've acquired. So, a huge part of this character's skill expression is going to be understanding intuitively what these different combinations of spell are, and whether you're in the right position to cast them. And this is just this character's ability. They obviously have an ultimate as well, and this one is more straightforward. Basically, after a short delay, you can mark nearby enemies with this red tag, and
you have iframes during the ultimate?
If anyone on your team hits them, they will regain health and mana, which is incredible for the sustained health of your party.
Kinda don't like it, because it's just brain dead, honestly. Like, you know, when you're casting an ult, on the second side, well, we're gonna see how it's gonna, like,
now, when you cast
work like
an ultimate from any
in the
character,
practice.
Your character actually becomes invincible while they're casting it, which in the case of the recluse is especially handy, as you can see in this footage where they use it to sort of mitigate all of the aggro that they're receiving. Okay, so the recluse is the most complicated character to explain. They also even have a passive ability, just like the other characters do. But I don't really know what the recluse's does. I think it regenerates mana somehow.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, let's talk about the next character, Wilder, who is very much a jack of all trades. Wilder's hookshot ability is on a very short cooldown, and you'll find yourself using it.
Okay, so there are cooldowns
enemies,
actually.
pulls them
Just the
towards
previous
you,
class didn't have
and
cooldowns,
large
like in
enemies
the normal way.
pulls you towards them.
Like working as a
One
timer.
thing worth noting is it's easy to chain the hookshot into different attacks, like you can see here. The hookshot can also be aimed manually, hitting the terrain and launching you forward.
Bruh, this is actually so cool.
Wilder's ultimate also uses his left arm. The grappling hook opens up for an explosive blast. This blast can be charged, it can be comboed with your running animation and the hookshot animation, and it stuns enemies. In this case, it actually staggered the enemy, allowing for a critical hit, but on every single enemy and boss I used it against, it also stunned them for a short amount of time. which was this unique animation that allowed my teammates to sort of get a moment to breathe or do extra damage.
Children catch a
While
game.
this passive ability
Wait, I'm sorry. There was something written
get a
down
moment
below.
to breathe or do
Enemies can now be damaged by teammates during repost animations. This is actually something I have already seen. On the initial trailer of the game, you had a situation when one of the teammates actually got grabbed by a monster, by a boss or mini boss or whatever, and then like some dude, an archer, just like climbed up on the pillar and just shoot the dragon in the face, stunning them in the process. So it seems like it's not only like the enemies can be damaged by teammates during repost animations, it's also that like they can be damaged during grabs and practically everything. Like just maybe we are going to end up having strategies where one of the players is going to actually fish for getting grabbed by a grab attack just in order so the rest of the team can actually apply free DPS. We're gonna see. Like this sounds abusable, honestly.
extra damage. Wilder's passive ability is a one-time use effect that allows him to completely negate any instant of damage that would have killed him. You might have just seen it activate there. Basically, Wilder does this brief moment of inspired acrobatics and gets a second chance instead of being downed. Next, let's talk about the Guardian. So the Guardian's passive ability is this shield stance, I'm pretty sure, which increases your guarding capabilities at the expense of your movement. Their ability is this whirlwind attack, which seems to get rid of environmental effects like the Death Blight here, but moreover, its main function is to interrupt.
No, I don't think, frankly, I don't think that's the case. I think this is just like complete accident that this Death Blight actually went away.
But moreover, its
but
main
who knows?
function is to interrupt enemies, so that your teammates can get some damage in. In this way, the Guardian is a really strong melee support character, acting as a tank, but also as a tank sort of support for other characters around.
You see that? Like the gamer actually got flipped over and another player could just like hit them on the ground.
Don't you? Their ultimate too is very team-based, with this aerial dive bomb that is excellent for reviving your teammates, because remember, you have to attack your teammates to revive them. This is a secondary effect, I'm pretty sure, of fortifying the teammates that are near the area of effect, giving them increased poise for a short time. I make it sound like the Guardian is purely a support character, but that dive bomb will be excellent for clearing groups of small enemies as well, and accumulating runes from killing enemies and strengthening all of your characters and leveling up is a huge part of the game, so that kind of group clearing is a really good offensive capability as well. And speaking of offensive capabilities, this is the Duchess, who was the character that I played the most in this demo.
Of course you did.
Is this
I wonder why.
dodge that's similar to the Bloodborne dodge, making her very well suited for anyone who prefers a more aggressive playstyle.
By aggressive playstyle, Vati means you spam dodge, so you get as much iframes as possible. Giga Chad move, not gonna lie.
Her ability recharges extremely fast, like you can use it every 10 seconds or so, and it's a sort of stopwatch themed ability which takes into account the last few seconds of damage that enemy has taken and duplicates it. This effect is shown by a white spirit that appears and sort of shows the damage that is being duplicated. Because
what the fuck?
The Duchess
That's actually pretty cool.
gets a lot of aggro, but this is offset by her dodge, but also by her ultimate, which is a cloaking spell that cloaks you and your nearby allies, making you way less likely to get aggro and just enabling a few different things within the context of the game. For example, you can use it before a fight to get the jump on enemies, you can use it in the middle of the fight to disengage from
It actually works against bosses.
Or something that's especially good is using it to safely resurrect your teammates once they get downed. So
I'm sorry, this is so fucking ridiculous. You shoot your teammates that are downed in order to revive them. Can we have like a lore explanation for that reason, Vati? Why the fuck is stomping down on your teammate that is already almost dead?
When you die in this game, you fall to the ground, you crawl extremely slowly,
You're
and a little
fucking
circle
beating the
appears
shit
above
out
your
of
head.
teammate.
This little circle is basically like a health bar that your teammates have to attack and deplete in order to resurrect you.
From sleep stat, hey, maybe that's actually a good point. You're just waking them up.
The first time you're downed, you only have one of these purple bars, the second time you have two, and the third time you have three, meaning that every subsequent time you die, it's more risky for your teammates to try and resurrect you because they have to stand there hitting you while avoiding aggro for quite a long time. And with some of these bosses, avoiding aggro is not easy. These bosses will often be a 3-part fight where you just have them on you the entire time. So resurrecting your teammates is definitely a tricky thing to pull off sometimes. It's also something that takes the damage you deal into account. So the more damage you do, the faster you'll resurrect your teammates. And so now I think we should talk about how to make your character stronger, how to make you do more damage and take more damage and survive. Okay, so the footage they gave us is really quite good. It does a good job of showcasing things that are important to the game, but RP walking like this is not one of them. If you did this in game, your teammates will scream at you. Like,
That's
you
a
don't
good
have time
point.
to do this kind of thing. You are
By the way, this is actually like how the loot looks like.
evaluating weapons and items and stats.
Oh, look at that. And this is actually something that I have seen on different footage earlier. So like this is a 3-spear, yeah? Just an item in the game. You need a minimum level in the top right corner. And that's okay, yeah? But like besides your abilities, you have all the ashes from the Elden Ring. Like that one, for example, has RKR on fucking 3-spear. That, by the way, like it goes so well with this passive. Because like items also have the additional passives. This one for one have improved charge attacks. I have seen other passive that makes you actually gain, for example, HP upon attacking your opponent. So basically a lifesteal. But improved charge attacks with the 3-spear that has RKR on essentially means you can double hit your opponent with the RKR fully charged R2 of the 3-spear if you can actually two-hand the weapons, because yet again, I'm actually not sure if that's even possible, but this is that's actually crazy. Also, like 81 on the attack that is apparently of the holy, like slash sacred origin, there is like no physical damage on the 3-spear. So like weapons got rebalanced, like the volumes of the damage and stuff is different.
It's as fast as you can because you also have to think about where to go next, and yeah, it's just crazy. So Bastard Sword, improved guarding ability. Well, that's dog shit. A big part of skill expression is being able to look at a weapon and
Oh, look, and then you have Great Omen Killer Cleaver, improved lightning damage negation. Well, it has Crackblade on. Well, this is actually so cool though. Like you have status element as well, which is like a bleed, which is just additional status basically. Yeah. Honestly, I like it. I like what I see. I think that's a pretty good system. I think like it's gonna be a lot of fun just wishing that that weapon that you potentially see on the ground of the category that you really want to have going to turn out to have like a good stats, or maybe quite opposed, like you're gonna have a fucking dog shit stats. You're gonna get upset about it, and that's also like a part of actual charm of the game. Like, well, this game is essentially a roguelike, and that's nice.
and saying, okay, this suits my
menus! Look! Okay, so you have like these 6 slots on the top. It's like a one for the main hand, the upper one, lower one for the offhand. What is the other two though? Well, I guess we're gonna find out soon.
build. Okay, I'm gonna work towards this, or I'm gonna leave this one behind, or I'm gonna give this one to a teammate.
Oh, you have to swap these.
And a part of what makes this so much simpler than Elden Ring, but also so much more complex, is that, yes, weapons have been simplified in the sense that they have one number associated with the damage they do, and it's quite clear if they inflict a status effect like Scarlet Rot. It's obvious if you've played the base game which skill is tied to the weapon, but what makes this so much more complex is that every single piece of equipment now comes with passive buffs.
Yeah, like I mentioned, but I want to actually look like, so these lower ones are just consumables. Now the question is, what are these two slots up here? Like what these are for.
Is
Well,
that every single your character, even if the weapon isn't actually in your hand. So
wait.
you have
Wait.
your
Again?
character even now comes with passive buffs
Passive
that
buffs.
affect your character even if the weapon isn't actually in your hand.
Okay, does he mean like if something is in the offhand, or like for example, let's say if you have like two-handing in the weapon, then like the weapon is on your backs, or he means if the weapon is literally in the inventory. If he means in the inventory, then holy shit, like these passives going to have a huge importance, and it's gonna be very important to look for different weapons, theoretically even of like a shit tier. Just looking through every single loot is going to make sense. If you, for example, want to make, let's say, a run with a character that just, I don't know, like going to deal shit tons of charge attack damage, like we have improved charge attack passive here, yeah? You want to collect multiple passives of this type, then like since you have like 6 slots, you have like, I assume like every single of these might get like around like that 10% of the additional charge attack, then you legitimately going to deal almost 60% more damage out of the charge attacks, which is fucking huge. And then you put on top of that like a Royal Knight's Resolve. If it works like in the original game, it is like 40% more damage. It stacks up to like insane amounts. So yeah, that's actually interesting. I like this system.
So you have 6 weapon slots in this game, and you want to fill every single one of them because every weapon will confer a different passive buff that will affect the main weapon that you have in your hand.
So it's inventory.
So, say, for example, these 3 armaments drop for you. Which ones would you take with you? If you're playing a melee character, the Tree Spear might be great because it actually has a really good charge attack and it increases the damage that charge attacks do. So you might want to base your build more around a charge attack playstyle. Or if you have the Duchess on your team, you might want to grab the Bleed weapon because Bleed seems to synergize really well with the stopwatch ability that duplicates damage. Being able to spot these synergies in an instant and try to make your build on the fly was a really big part of what made this game so fun to me. You should also be evaluating consumables because you can only carry 4 stacks of any one consumable at any one time.
Right.
And consumables are really good now. Firebombs are now handheld nukes that can be thrown in midair, and weapon buffs can be applied to any weapon, and they're powerful, so bear that in mind. Another thing that's really important is...
Oh, map! Look at that! Okay, and before we're gonna look at the map, look at the top left corner. I'm not sure if you actually see it because of the chat. But you have like 4 options. First one is for the map. Second one is most likely for your, inventory. Third one is for the character stat display. And fourth one is for settings. So like settings we actually ignore, yeah? But there is like essentially no separation for inventory and essentially like your bug, yeah? So no hard swaps at all, it seems like. Everything you have... Dude, like, this game is made for Redditors. They listened to Reddit. They actually removed hard swaps from the game, for fucking fuck's sake. Oh well.
Ideally, you'll have someone on your team who's really good at quickly evaluating where it will be best to go next. There are a lot of important landmarks in this game, and many of them will be recognizable across multiple sessions. For example, you see that black rise off to the right there? So if you solve the puzzle and make your way to the top, you'll get a choice of 3 armaments and or buffs to choose from, which usually is a reward that's exclusive to when you kill bosses in this game. So basically every landmark has a boss within it, but some have interesting things as well, like we're currently diving down to Kenneth Heights Castle, which showed up a few times for us in our run, and inside this room there was a map on the table, and when you interact with the map, it actually reveals points of interest that usually wouldn't be marked on the map. For example, the locations of these silver scarab beetles would show up, and whenever we defeated one of these, a talisman would drop. Each character has 2 talisman
Okay,
slots.
so these 2 slots were for tallies. Yeah, as expected, honestly.
And being able to loot a talisman usually was a really big power spike for one member of our team. And I don't have footage of it, but Kenneth Height's map also revealed the location of merchants on the map. And
Okay.
these merchants were
And
all
hell yeah, I was actually wondering if they are going to do that. We're gonna have like merchants.
always next to a smithing table, and they always sold one type of smithing stone, which
Okay.
would have allowed you to level up your weapon. This is probably a really important mechanic to interact with if you find a merchant, because weapons have different rarities as well, which is something I should have mentioned. There's a common level 1 rarity, there's a rare blue level 3 rarity, there's an epic purple level 9 rarity, and we only found 2 of these, but there is a legendary rarity as well that requires you to be level 12 to equip it. I'll admit there were runs where I was like, ah man, we didn't get any good loot that run, like we didn't find that many epics or legendaries, and that could be a bit frustrating. However, I suspect that the merchants and their smithing tables will be a way to consistently upgrade a weapon that might be common, but it might have a really good buff that you want, and so I think upgrading weapons could be a way to sort of smooth out the randomness.
Yeah, I wanted to actually just assure myself like this is what it is. So like the upgrading materials are just improving the rarity of the weapon. Okay, got it. So 4 or 5 upgrades at best
Of the game. At the end of every day, you face a major boss. So there were 4 different types we could face in this demo, and they were all very difficult, especially the ones that split into multiple versions of themselves or had multiple ads that you had to deal with, because that required everyone in your team to fulfill a role, and the strategy you use against these bosses will play a huge part in your success. For example, we had someone on our team who was not as familiar with Elden Ring, so they ended up taking on a tanking role where they kind of held up their shield and tried their best to keep aggro rather than dealing damage, and they did a great job of that. That worked really well because they could do something like distract the demi-human queen all by themselves, while me and a more competent player were able to DPS this demi-human swordsman down and then go back and help the tank with the one they were aggroing. There were strategies for every boss like this, and I really enjoyed coming up with ways to defeat these bosses on the
Power
fly
sensing.
and accounting for things that went wrong within the fight. So what you're seeing here is the end of day 1, where they've defeated the major boss, and now they get to claim a reward. Like many rewards in this game, it's a choice between 3 different options.
So I don't understand why they are not commercializing it as a roguelike. It is quite interesting approach, like a roguelike formula. Like it takes from different genres, but at the end of the day, this is clearly a roguelike. Why this game? Like it's not like you do not have it mentioned anywhere that it is this is actually a roguelike. Jesus, that it is a roguelike game when clearly it absolutely is one.
Sometimes it was a choice between permanent effects and buffs for your character, sometimes weapons, sometimes both, and again you have to make a really split-second decision on what is best for you and your team. And then at the end of the day, the Nightreign recedes, and you can go out and explore again. But bear in mind, I'm pretty sure everything you killed on day 1 stays dead on day 2, so it was important to keep progressing around the map and finding new places to explore. Eventually, everything culminates in this, your final fight against the chosen Night Lord
The background
that
is so
you set
pretty.
out to face when you left the Round Table Hold. In this case, our final boss was called Tricephalus, a 3-headed hound that periodically would split into 3 parts, one for each member of your group. It's in this
That
boss
sprint.
fight and boss fights like this that you realize Nightreign really was designed for 3 people. Yes, they probably could have designed enemies so that they scaled with
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stop you here.
this fight and
So we have
fights like
this is normal sprint. So yeah, like you can activate that super sprint that is super fast. Makes me wonder if there is any downside to it though. Like legitimately, is there a reason to sprint like this Duchess does? Like because this regular sprint, is there even a reason? Like she would actually get to the guy way faster with the double sprint.
you realize Nightreign really
But maybe
was
just stamina
designed for
consumption.
3 people. Yes, they probably could have designed enemies so that they scaled with the amount of people in your party, but there's something to be said for not compromising on your boss design around that fact. You know, these bosses feel like they were designed to be taken on with 3 people, and everyone in your party is supposed to have a different role in these fights as a result. So, that's Nightreign. I mean, I could go on about all the different little things I've discovered, but I don't have footage for it right now, so I think I'll just give you my thoughts on the game. Obviously, somewhat biased. I run a From Software YouTube channel. You have to take what I say with a grain of salt, but I really did have so much fun playing this.
Frankly, it's looking like insane amount of fun. I actually really like what I see.
In retrospect, I was a bit wrong about my analysis of the game previously, because previously a big point I mentioned was that, you know, Nightreign will allow you to get immersed in this ever-changing world and take in the scenery and just enjoy like a first playthrough of Elden Ring again. This isn't that. Like, you don't have time to appreciate this world sometimes. Instead, that feeling is replaced with this rush to explore and get stronger and overcome difficulty, and when your build comes together just right and that allows you to kill even more bosses even faster and get even stronger, it's a great feeling. And over the course of our play session, you know, we finally had one run where everything came together perfectly. We got the items we wanted, we managed to execute our strategies perfectly, and we finally faced off against the final boss and managed to take it down. If you have a friend or two who are into Elden Ring as well, and you think you can all...
What do you mean friend of 2? Only 2 friends, because there is no duos!
take on this game together, I think it's going to be like one of the best co-op experiences you've ever had. My main concerns with this game come from the fact that, you know, if you don't have someone else to play this with, will this game still be great played with randoms or played by yourself? I'm not as sure of that, and I think come the network test in a couple of days, people aren't going to have that many friends to play with who also got into the network test, and so I think some of the feedback might be more negative because of that. But as it stands, everyone I know had a blast playing this together, especially side by side in the same room with other people. It was just an unforgettable experience. The other thing I'm curious about is, when the full game releases, how random will the maps be? In this demo build of the game, again, we could only play one of 2 maps, but we've kind of been led to believe that maps will be somewhat procedurally generated.
Wait, 1 of 2 maps? What does he mean by that? Wasn't that initially like supposed to be like a 1 map that is getting procedurally generated, or like he means like 2 alternated versions of like the same map?
That they'll stitch together different zones, and yeah, the demo had 2 maps seemingly that you could explore, and over the course of our session and over the course of the network test, when people play this, they're going to start figuring out these maps and understanding the best route through, and it will become familiar to them, which I don't think is the intended experience for Nightreign. I suspect in the full game, and I hope in the full game, maps are really, really randomized, and no 2 playthroughs are the same, so that's definitely something I'm going to be looking for in the full release. Anyway, I hope this video helped you understand more about the game. I'll be playing the network test and recording our experiences, and I might make a video on that as well, so subscribe, stay tuned. Thank you to Bandai for flying me out and giving me this experience, and Thank you for watching.
Such a good video though, like very nice narration by Vati. Well, we actually got some information, dude. That's great, lovely, actually fantastic, dude. And yeah, honestly, like it's looking very good so far. Cannot wait for the network test within the next literally 2 days. Pog, let's go. What do you think, chat? How was it so far? Mid, you say? I really enjoyed what I have seen. I cannot wait for the network test. In my opinion, it's going to be fun. Check last pin message in Elden Ring channel in your Discord. Okay, let me see. Pin. Expand. The hawk can shield poke with a halberd. There is no fall damage, crouching mode for the sprint. Ultimates have iframes. What is... ults have... Okay, the hawk can shield poke with a halberd, this is written twice. The hawk is like, you know, the character. Guardian it is. Invisibility, ult for whole team lets you walk in front of mobs and backstab them. That's funny. Duchess skill is like 10 seconds cooldown. Of course.
Trick podkreślenie just subscribed.
Thank you, Trick. Appreciate that, gamer. So Knight has auto dodge on low HP when you're gonna die. Second chance. Well, soft swap endure will be a thing. Well, that's true. Level 15 is the level cap. Leveling up matters a lot. Dying removes 1 level. Okay. Seals seem to come just with some spells. Regen 1 will be OP. Staff probably the same. Maybe bow. Maybe bow autocast soul mass when you shoot perk. Okay. Like just gamer noticed something.
Just subscribed.
Thank you, Siren. Mage towers have puzzles. You got to look equivalent of killing a boss. Ergo towers equals meta free gear. Fast once we know puzzles. Okay. Churches have Estus upgrades and are a priority. You can have up to 7 Estus. There is a talisman also too per character dropped by Scarabs. Merchants are always next to an upgrade weapons tool and sell an upgrade material. Dark Moon Greatsword passive does a Carian retaliation parry each time you attack. Sounds really broken and brain dead. It sounds really broken and brain dead, but we're gonna see. Upgrades post killing boss, more iframes on roll out. Wait, what? Upgrades post killing boss, more iframes on rolls, autocast Ice Storm on sprint, regen when poison or rot. That's actually interesting. Spell duration, more healing from Estus. Both have infinite arrows. Oros says no stable 60 FPS on performance mode. Hell yeah! I am so glad this game actually releases in the PS4 version, because of course you cannot play on PS5 version, dude. We are actually gonna have to like if you're gonna be playing on the console, then buy it through the PSN store, dude. Like, and you are going to receive PS4 version and PS5 version. Install yourself the PS4 version. Don't play on PS5 version. You're gonna have way better FPS. Old bosses, like Centipede, Demon, shares old attacks, also new one. Okay, so they have like old attacks with the new attacks, basically, yeah? That's interesting, because old attacks comes from the old games that were of completely different nature when it comes like to the approach to the boss design. Relics are color-coded and work like a rune in a Bloodborne. Runes in Bloodborne. Relics are color-coded. What are okay. Relics are like a character perks that you actually can equip in the round table hold. Color coding system can be ignored eventually with upgrades, okay? Exclusive upgrades to a character like new attack after grapple attack on night. There is a dummy in round table where you can spawn all weapons and test stuff. That's cool. Events like Volcanoes or End Sworn attacking you. That's cool. High rarity gear is just raw better. Yeah, that's understandable. Because it's just like a level of upgrade basically in this game. Stone sword keys gives you good loot if you use them. Okay? And on sprint passives overpowered. Okay. Good shit. This is like actually good find overall. Nice, my dude. That's actually some insight from like clips that Fair apparently seen with others. Okay. Know what, chat? Let's see. Maybe we're gonna actually find some sort of articles. Elden Ring Nightreign. Let's see. The last hour. Okay, but I am receiving a Polish results and I don't want Polish results. Fucking shit, like is based off my location. Language, we swap to English. Oh. All right. Good. So. Now we got like some articles in the English language. More settings. Save. Okay. Doesn't matter. I think we're good. Date confirmed. By the way, the game releases on 30 May. Yeah. Check this. Putting the game United in the rainfall, but only save specifically, blah blah. I will online play. Okay. Let's roll with it. That's good. That's good. Okay, so on the Bandai Namco website, we actually have an article about Elden Ring Nightreign, and we have like some basics here, like how to literally navigate the menu. But look at that below here, you actually have information about HUD. You have the HUD basically displayed, so we can actually look it up. Let's see up close. So you on the top left, you have actually like the teammates, like with the avatars and stuff. That's pretty cool. From things that I might not exactly understand, you have like here the number 3, and I wonder what is that. It's D. Let's see what is under the level. Okay, indicates your character level. So that's your character level. On the top right, you have, of course, runes. And anything else that's interesting here, like the HP is quite above like the opponent here, actually. 2 Ashes of War That's a good point. So here is the thing. The weapons have their own Ashes of War, and this thing at the middle, we already know that P and Q, like the P is going to be an ability and Q gonna be an ultimate, yes? Let's see. P, character skill gauge, and ultimate art gauge. So yeah, those are like the abilities of the character. We do not say, we do not have, I mean, the ultimate displayed anywhere here. And that's actually, well, that's weird, frankly. It's kind of weird. Like normally it is here above the inventory in bottom left corner, yeah? Like you're supposed to have a bar displaying the Ash of War that you currently have on your weapon. What else we have here? This. So search sprint is on the Alt 3. Yeah, you have to click the Alt 3, which means it actually exchanged freaking crouches. So no crouch attacks. You can jump and so on. On the triangle, look, on the triangle you have like event action, but you don't have information about... Oh, okay, here you go. Triangle plus R1 swaps between 100 and 200. Like in the actual footage of the game that we have access to, like there is literally no footage of someone two-handing the weapon unless it was like brief and I just didn't notice. Game basics. Round table hold. Area that serves as the player's base. You can change your character here and use the sparring grounds to try your skills. So like, yeah, we were told like about the training dummy earlier. The large site of grace located in the middle of the round table can be used to team up with Nightfarers from other worlds. Okay, like we got like arena matchmaking basically. Explore the map, blah, blah, blah. Interact. Night's Tide. The Night's Tides surrounding the map will draw in as time passes. Basically like the zone, yeah? Like from Fortnite and other battle royals. Fighting enemies. Enemies scattered around, blah, blah, blah. Just click the button to kill them. Runes, you're obtaining the runes. Near death state, rescue. Players will enter near death state when their HP reaches 0. A gauge will appear for the character who enters the state. Player in the near death state can be resurrected by other players if attacked by them until blah blah blah. Okay, just yeah, hit your teammates when they are down. Nice life lesson you have here. Death and revival. The player characters will lose 1 level upon dying and will respawn in nearby area. Okay, so you're gonna just respawn when no one is going to pick you up. I see how it is. Waifu, thank you a lot for the big as super chat. These runes will be lost entirely if the player dies again before retrieving them. Okay, typical. Sites of Grace. When you rest at Grace, your HP, FP, and status effects will be completely restored. Okay. By interacting with Grace, you can access the level up menu and use runes to level your character. The character attributes will also increase automatically when leveling up. Each character has different attributes that are... Okay, yeah, sure. So, yeah, just honestly, if the auto leveling up mode is going to make sense, then like there will be pretty much no reason to level up manually, and I think that's okay for a game like that. Unless you want to be quirky and do something funny. You can talk to the merchants. They have like nearby the smithing table that you can upgrade shit on. Okay. Round table hold again. Area that serves as the player base. Hold them up. Things that can be done in round table hold. Expeditions. Select the area. Character sector. Relic sites. Here you go. Relics. It's basically like a passives that you can actually just collect throughout the game. It's basically that rogue light element where just like even though you technically lose everything upon like leaving the map, yeah, doesn't matter if you win or lose because you get in relics, then you are still increasing the power of your character somewhat. Visual codex allows you to check various type of data. Sparring grounds, here you can check the battle controls and hone your combat skills. Yeah, okay, so just testing stuff. Another super chat, tym razem from Claw. Can I waste money on collector's edition? I mean, you know, you would do that anyway. Bruce Wayne, thank you a lot for the super chat. Appreciate that, my dude. All right, so what else? Setting up expedition password. Multiplayer password. When you set up a multiplayer password, then you actually just matching like the game would be from 2000s real. Okay, number of players up to 2. Phantoms, red phantoms. Sometimes you will see players from other worlds moving around as phantoms. Touching them will increase your ultimate art gauge. Also, by touching red phantoms of players from other worlds who failed to survive, you can obtain the equipment. Well, sadly, this is not invasions mechanic. It's just, yeah, you can touch dead bodies of other players. Well, I just kind of edge myself here, not gonna lie. Relics. You can equip relics to obtain blah, 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 blah. And what? The effects of the equip relics will be activated at the start of expeditions and they will not be consumed. Yeah, so this is your permanent upgrade kind of thingy. Sparring ground, just yeah, you can fight with the dummy. Movement, walk, dash, sprint gauge. Using it during combat will consume stamina. Well, like regular dash. Question is how much, because if it's gonna be worth it, then you can utilize it as actually offensive action to strafe attacks with like insane fucking speed, which basically gonna make strafing probably like much easier than in actual Elden Ring. Roll, okay, jump, sure, wall jump. Jump towards a wall and press X. Okay, so you have to press the jump button again. The backstep not tilted will cause a quick. Wait, what? Button while the left stick is not tilted will cause a quick backstep. Pressing R1 after backstep will turn into a dash attack. Okay, so like exactly like in Elden Ring, and there is no mention of the iframes, so backsteps do not have iframes, at least not without like some sort of the additional item, just like in Elden Ring. Here locking onto target, okay, basics. Other options depending on the situation. Switching equipment, you can switch equipment. You can use the equipment menu to switch between what you have equipped and what you want to use. Instead, use the directional button to change. Okay, blah blah blah. So no inventory, only like equipment menu basically. Yeah. Using flasks just recovers HP. Using items, okay, use the E D-pad. Switching between 1 and 200, so like just like in Elden Ring. Material effects, you can pick up the materials scattered throughout the lands between and use them to obtain temporary effects such as HP recovery. Materials obtained by allies. What is materials? What do you mean by that? Remains active for a certain period of time. It's just like a consumables? I'm not sure about that. Special attacks, character skill / ultimate. You can hold down the triangle button and press the Alt2 button to use a character skill, or hold the triangle and press R2 to use the ultimate art. So in Elden Ring, using these buttons is just going to do the same as clicking R1, which is basically just going to swap your weapon stance between 100 and 200. Here, these combinations of buttons have different use, as simple as that. Skills. Equipping a weapon that comes paired with skill, which is like Ash of War, and press the Alt2 button to activate it. So like the entire gameplay loop of Kevin's in Elden Ring, especially when they are co-oping. Got it? Depending on the skill, it might be possible to unleash several derivative, I don't even know what does that mean, attacks by pressing R1. Okay, cool. Guard counters. Pressing the R2 button immediately after guard. Okay, so just guard counters just like in Elden Ring. Dual weapon attacks just like in Elden Ring. Stance breaks and critical hits. Enemy stance might be break depending on the attack. Pressing R1 does the thing. And there is an information. Some enemies can be parried and some enemies can be hit with a critical sure. Well, what is important is that like in when they are like in the stance, when they are breaking or getting like critical hit, they can still be hit. So like this is like open DPS window for everyone at your team to just smash against an enemy that you just parried or poise broke, and you're actually posting them. So like in Elden Ring, sometimes when you are like playing with the team, reposting an opponent is literally a DPS loss, and in this game it is not going to be the case. Use a sorceries and use off sorceries and incantations. You want to use sorceries and incantations, you can like blah blah blah, corresponding catalyst, sure, attacking with the ranged. Press the L1 button while holding ranged weapons, such as bows or crossbows, with both hands or blah blah blah. You entering the precision aiming mode, so the crossbow, crosshair. Main menu. Switch between menus with L1 R1s, okay. And you map equipment status, which is like just character information menu. We can actually see it here in top left corner. This is how it looks like. Yeah, okay. Understandable. Map controls. Right stick move to the position of the cursor. Place pin on the map with the art free. So like right analog click. R2 zoom the map. L2 zoom out. Directional button switch between map layers. Interesting. Layers of the map. Oh. Okay. Cool. Equipment. Can use this menu to change equipment and check use or discard items. Oh, you can discard them as well. Wonder if you can sell them since you have like merchants on the map. Look at the amount of the HP on that screenshot. What the fuck is this? Okay, a moment. Equipped. Nothing. Gestures menu. Press the triangle button to open the gestures menu. Triangle button to open the gestures menu. Okay, got it. So the explanation is that when you're gonna enter the menu, then like you're gonna click triangle, it opens the gestures menu apparently, which is different than in the original game. I'm confused. Fuck it. Like this is here you're supposed to even have a prompt on bottom right. I don't even see the prompt here. Okay, here you go. On the right side, you have like actually a gesture here and Y button assigned to it, which is a triangle. By the way, bitches playing on the PC, we won't be able to fuck. Unfortunate that network test is not on the PC, but it is actually somewhat understandable. Status, you can use the menu. Okay, so we can actually take a look on the stats. So armaments, what the fuck? What is this? So you have like HP, FP, and stamina, but you don't have like actual displayed like, you know, the attributes like strength, dexterity, and so on. Instead, like in the armaments, you have like a displayed, I guess, like the max power of actual like, or different, the gauge that is displaying the current power of the weapon, and like there's like apparently some sort of the cap. The same goes for every stat. You have like a special effects here. Probably if you're gonna swap screen, you're gonna be able to see like regular attributes, because according to what we know, the game's supposed to have regular attributes. And that being said, not it mentioned here. Well, that's about it apparently. Okay, so that's article from Bandai Namco. Good read, I would say. Like plenty of information that actually like kind of inform us more about that game that we're gonna be all playing very, very soon, considering the fact that the game releases on the May 30 and the network test is just within like 2 days. Cool. All right. Anything else, gamers, that you found? It is gonna be on YouTube, yeah, of course. Like this, I would be fucking stupid to not put it on YouTube, yeah. And so we are going to actually have like a separated videos. First is the reaction to the first we're gonna have like the reaction to Vati's video. It's gonna be separated video, and after that like a more detailed video about like other stuff. Okay. Let's see. Elden Ring, Nightreign answering 20 burning questions. Another article from Xbox side. Is the Nightreign a sequel to Elden Ring? No, we know that. What sort of game is Nightreign? Oh boy, here is where things get interesting. That's wow. Officially, Nightreign is a session-based RPG. That will be different every time you play it. But it is not an RPG in a traditional sense of term. You won't create a character, okay? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, make some story short, it's a mashup of different things. And at the end of the day, it's first of the most, like, kind of a roguelike. Okay, so it's an RPG, but it's not RPG. I'm confused. Yeah, you are. Okay. From software bosses, no, we are talking exactly at the end of every day. You will battle a boss. Okay, that we know. Are there bosses from the other FromSoft games? Unfortunately, From has only confirmed the bosses from Dark Souls games and Elden Ring. But I think we are all really hoping. Okay. So only confirmed like Dark Souls and Elden Ring bosses. So if you are making your own character, if you are not making your character, who are you playing as? Okay, so here is like a mentions of the characters. 3 of them, in fact, from Vati's video, we had like closer look on 4 of them because there's no Duchess here. So Recluse can just cast spells and refill her FP whenever it gets low. See there, so this is the caster. That's where things get interesting, where Recluse can indeed cast spells and launch magic attacks. Refilling your FP isn't that easy. Rather than simply popping a potion, you will need to collect attribute marks from enemies. Okay, so Vati already mentioned it. So essentially you have to attack the boss in order to actually refill mana. I wonder how it's going to work in practice, like, because the magic seems very, very strong, but if you won't be able to easily refill FP, then ultimately it might be quite a hard class to utilize at the end of the day, like to micromanage. So how does the average match start? Before you even dive into the session, you will find yourself hanging out in the roundtable hold. Okay, they are explaining what is the roundtable hold like about in this game. Game has found 2 other players. You will give you can be given 10 seconds to choose your Nightfarer. From there you will be deployed into Limveld. Dude, this is 10 seconds to actually mash a button on your favorite class, so the other player won't steal it, because you cannot have like 2 the same classes in one match. Wow, I cannot wait. Deployed, what does that mean? You're jumping from the battle bus. Everyone knows that. All right, so once you are on the ground, what's next? After you and your squad have landed, you just go and kill shit, okay? Wait, level up. I thought it said that was an RPG. I said it's not a traditional RPG. Yes, as you make your way around the map, you will gain experience that can be used on Site of Graces to level up your character. Please tell something more about it. You won't put points into strength or intelligence or any of that. You will simply move from level 1, 2 to 3 and so on. Oh. So you won't be able to actually fucking do a quirky, like, builds. Like, it's actually fully automated, which means that, like, information that we got from the IGN when the trailer of the Nightreign initially released was not true. According to this article, like, you literally won't be able to actually make, like, a quirky bullshit. You're actually going to have stats being leveled up accordingly to the a character class that you are on. That's about it. For instance, fighting the first knight's boss at level 1 is close to impossible, but fighting at level 6 is fairly easy, okay? So, levels are powerful, what he says. So why can't you just level up a bunch of times to make it trivial? See, that's where the real fun comes in. As you're exploring the map, leveling up, and finding new gear, there is a circle of flame. Okay, so basically you just... like you gotta have to optimize roads if you want to level up a lot. Just how large is the map and how hard is to get? Like, the map is big, but not nearly as big as Elden Ring's full map. My gut feeling is that it's probably close to the size of 2 of Elden Ring's regions combined. Oh, by the size of the map, like, it wasn't looking like that, but, well, apparently maybe it is. What is there to do in the world besides sprinting around and killing enemies? A lot. You will want to take the time, but not too much time to explore as you increase the number of health flasks. Yeah, so churches and looking for the merchants and solving the puzzles, all these things just strengthen your character outside like of killing like the camps of enemies. Will you run into the tougher enemies outside of the field? Oh yes, you will come in contact with plenty of mini-bosses. Cool. Why wouldn't you just take the most powerful weapon? While in the amount of damage you can output is certainly something, blah blah. Okay, like here's just like humans passive bonuses and Ashes of War. Yeah, just like the roguelike aspect of the game. Not always like the weapon that just deals the most damage is the best, or the best for your character, or the best for the scenario you are in, or the best against the boss that you're about to fight. Yes, good old you died screen. Do you leave the game when... Okay, we already know that like you're actually losing level. If no one is going to revive your shit, and you are actually just, yeah, you're just respawning on your own. So let's say I make it to the end of the Nightreign and take down the boss. What's my reward? Remember when I mentioned above that there is a semi-permanent character boost? Okay, so you get in relics. Alright, I'm sold. When can I start playing Elden Ring? Well, May 13. That's it. That's it, my dude. Well, another good article, I would say. I mean, like, it wasn't nearly as informative as this one, for one, but we still got some information or confirmation of certain information or debunked certain bullshit that was given us by, like, IGN a few months earlier. So here is that. IGN has a new article. Better than this too? Send me link to IGN. Unless you guys have like something better. Although like I'm not sure if... Thank you, Balding.
And I just need to say that the footage in this video was provided by Bandai Namco, as no capture was permitted during the event. Here,
Just another... Moving around is way easier. I don't think we need to read it, frankly. So yeah, speaking of IGN, there is like another IGN article, but I'm just scrolling through it and there is really nothing that would be particularly interesting for us, methinks. We just got information from the previous articles. According to IGN, Nightreign is simply a good game. According to IGN, like the regular run lasts around 30 to 45 minutes. Like moving around is actually way easier than in Elden Ring, probably because of the wall runs. And what else? Well, the bosses are hard. No fucking shit. Like this, that's it. That's the article. So, yeah. I guess like that's safe to say. We probably do not need to read that one, but yeah, there is IGN article that I'm gonna link in the description later for anyone that is willing to read on their own. And yeah, I mean, like, I think that's it. Like, that's a lot of the information that we didn't get exactly from the Vatis video that we previously watched, and I think we can finish here. Just like a good like advanced knowledge about Nightreign and what's about to come. Now, what's left is to join the network test very, very, very soon, in 2 days. You cannot teabag waifu because they removed crouching. you have like the sprint dash instead of crouching. Then point down. I hope they are actually brought back Dark Souls 3 point down where you can move around. Preferably the combination of two. What the fuck? I just got an email. You have got a key. Oh. Unleash your destiny and embark on a legendary journey with... Oh. I just got a vote for free. I mean for free. I'm gonna have to live stream it. Well. You got what? A votes? A vote? Like, I don't know how you pronounce this one. This game. Oh. It's actually on 8. It's gonna... Wow. The Polish service gave the game 5 out of 10. It's like basically... Its releases on the 18th February, which is good timing, frankly. Because on 18th February, we are actually... we have the last day... Oh, Jesus. Of the playtest. Jesus, a lot of work. Premium character skin packs. Jesus, maybe I'm just gonna deny that shit. Well, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. I can still deny invitation to make content out of this game. So maybe I'm gonna do so and gonna focus on Nightreign instead. Alright guys, what time it is? My girlfriend comes back from work within like hour or so. There is nothing more to cover when it comes to Nightreign. I think I'm jumping off and gonna start editing videos, so I'm gonna release the Nightreign vid before she gonna comes back, because we want to spend some time together today. Just log off, Leroy, you washed. Okay, fuck off, you fucking bitch. Fucking dog shit audience, I swear to fucking god. Where is... who are we raiding? Me wonders. Pop is playing Dark Souls. Okay, so we could actually just go to Oro and like he is talking about Nightreign. So yeah, just go to Obobobo, I guess, and if you want to talk more about Nightreign, here is that. Like he played it himself, so he can actually just maybe sleep with some additional sleep off with some additional information. So gonna give you a donger, gamers. That was nice, short and sweet stream. So here is that. This is a donger for you. Go send Oroboro a nice donger in his chat. I'm sending a link to Oro's Twitch chat on YouTube for you all. And much love. Thank you a lot for watching. I'm jumping off to edit real quick, and I will see you with more streams probably tomorrow, I think. So yeah, much love. See you later. Bye. Yit.